character. She's a powerful leader. Yes, yes. In a very woman-centered world. Star Wars is very, like, patriarchal.
I recognized your foul stench when I was brought on board.
Your vision is flawed.
Yo people, welcome back to another video. Now, Disney have released the Star Wars schedule for 2024, and the big thing is that Andor Season 2 wasn't announced, which means it has been delayed and will not be coming out in 2024 as originally planned, which means it is likely for a 2025 release. We will still have 4 shows coming out next year, with the first one looking like it will be Skeleton Crew, which was meant to come out this year. The only things that we know about this show is that Jude Law is going to be in it, and he's most likely going to be playing yet another Jedi and probably yet another survivor of Order 66. There will be 4 kid protagonists as well who are lost in the galaxy, and Jude Law will basically have to be responsible for them. Apparently it ties into the Mandoverse and follows the events of The Mandalorian Season 3, as it is rumoured that the pirate from Mandalorian Season 3 will be in this show. The next show is The Acolyte, which is the show directed by Harvey Weinstein's former personal assistant, who Disney fans get very defensive over and triggered whenever I mention that piece of factual information. The same lady who fake cried at Star Wars Celebration to try and win over the fans right after Dave Filoni had gone on stage and got emotional. I was there, I was in the crowd. Dave got emotional at all the support and the love that he was shown. He ended up getting cheered when he was crying, and in her case she got laughed at because you could tell it was fake crying.
Star Wars saved my life. Like...
This show will also contain the actress from the intro.
Star Wars is very, like, patriarchal.
So this show is set to take place 100 years before The Phantom Menace and right after the High Republic era. There's even been rumours about a young Palpatine or a Darth Plagueis being associated to the show. It does look very agenda-y based off what I've shown, but let's see what happens. On paper it sounds like a good idea. The Jedi at the large, the Sith in the shadows, it's a fresh time period for live action Star Wars and all of that stuff, but we know the Kathleen Kennedy formula. And by the way, if this flops, just remember it's your fault. It's not the people who made the show, it's the people who watched the show. It's all your fault. The next show, which I'm personally looking forward to, is The Bad Batch Season 3, the finale. After that crazy ending for Season 2, it'll be pretty interesting to see where they take this show, how many deaths we'll see in total, considering this is during the Empire's reign, the Empire's prime. So I'm expecting at least 2 big characters to die in this show. We should also see some pretty big cameos considering it's the final season, they want to go out with a bang. But let's wait and see, let's not hype it up too much, it's Disney after all. If these people know what they're doing, then they will know to make this Mount Tantiss part the key part of the whole season. We know that this is Palpatine's secret cloning lab, no one knows about it, and if they play this correctly, this could come into play during all the events of the Mandoverse, and it could tie in pretty well from animation into live action. I'm a lot more confident in the animated Star Wars content than I am for live action. I'm not sure if that's a good thing or not, but that leads me on to the next show, which is the 4th and final show releasing in 2024, which is Tales of the Jedi Season 2. Now, Season 1 was very well done, very efficient and impactful storytelling, good ways of fleshing out characters by picking 3 different time periods for each character, and 1 episode being 1 time period. In Season 1, we fleshed out a character like Ahsoka, who is already a fan favourite and already has a lot of fleshing out in the Clone Wars, as well as Count Dooku, who is massively underrated, so he got his flowers in this show for sure. I wish this show had a bit more episodes, explored a few more characters within one season, but sometimes I understand the whole short and simple, less is more, which ends up performing better. If we use the same formula as Season 1, where they picked a super popular character alongside a more underrated and not as fleshed out character, then for Season 2 I would like to see Luke Skywalker as the popular character, with his Episode 1 being a pre-A New Hope episode. We can see him as a teenager and just try and make a story out of that. Episode 2 would be between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. And lastly, for the third episode, I'd like to see something after Return of the Jedi, but before his appearance in The Mandalorian Season 2. That is approximately a 5-year time gap, so something there would be good. As for my candidate for the underrated character, or someone who would be good to flesh out, I'd have to say maybe a Mace Windu or a Qui-Gon Jinn, although both of them appeared in Dooku's story. Maybe we could go down a more adventurous path with a Plo Koon or a Kit Fisto, maybe even a Baylan Skoll. If they do decide to do 2 established fan favourite characters, then I think maybe even an Obi-Wan set of episodes would be good. Padawan Obi for episode 1, Obi-Wan training Anakin in episode 2, and Obi-Wan looking after Luke in episode 3, as he should have done in the Kenobi show. But yeah, as always, let me know your thoughts down below. Which shows are you looking forward to the most? Any other thoughts that you have in particular? Drop a like on the video as well. Sub to the channel if you haven't already. We are so close to the 500 subs goal. Thank you for your time and have a great rest of your day.